Hi there, Sandy here with another jewelry making video at my YouTube channel and my blog at keepsakecrafts.net. Today I'm going to show you how to make these crystal tassel earrings. They have a lot of movement and that makes them fun to wear. So to make these earrings you will need quite a few crystals. The way I've made mine, I used 120 crystals, and so I have an assortment here of 3mm Swarovski bicones. This is a blend that Swarovski's put together called Sonoran. And then these are the color blue zircon. And then these are just some blue crystals from my craft store that are also a similar size. So you'll need 120 of those, and I'll explain to you how I got that number. You'll also need, of course, a couple ear wires, 2 eye pins, 2 bead cones, and a whole bunch of crimps. You'll also need some bead stringing wire. And then for tools, you'll need wire cutters and chain nose pliers. And you can use a crimping tool, but I strongly recommend the one-step crimper because it really makes nice, neat, discreet crimps, and you'll see why. So the first thing I am going to do is mix up my Sonoran assortment of colors and this other strand of beads, because I'm going to have, as you saw in the picture, a band of blue beads around the bottom, and then the rest will just be these colors all randomly mixed together. So once you have your beads ready, you'll want to cut yourself a piece of bead stringing wire, 10 or 12 inches long. It doesn't really matter. I don't like to cut it too long because it gets unwieldy to manage. And then you're just going to slide on a crimp, and then you're going to crimp that right next to the end of the wire. Make sure that that's holding, and then I'm just going to use wire cutters to trim that excess wire. And then I'm going to string on 3 beads in the color that I want for that stripe at the bottom. Now, of course, you could make your strands, you could make them all the exact same pattern, and then they'd have horizontal stripes, whatever you like. But I'm going to put 3 beads of that blue zircon color, and then 7 beads just random from this pile. And that's how I got the number 60. Each of these strands has 10 beads on it. There are 6 on each earring, so that's 60, and 2 earrings, that makes 120. So just string on 7 more beads, and then string on another crimp. Slide the crimp down to the beads, and then slide the wire back through the crimp. Bring that right close to the beads, and pull it up so you have a very, very small loop, like maybe 1/8 of an inch. The deeper your bead cone, the more of a loop you can get away with. And then one more time, get out your crimper and crimp that. Make sure it's holding. And then trim off the excess wire. And then carry on making these units until you have 12 of them made. So here you can see I've made all 12 of my little strands. In fact, I've gone ahead and finished one of the earrings. And this goes very quickly. So you just take your eye pin and open it, and then slide on the loops of 6 of your little crystal bead components. And then go ahead and close up that loop nice and tight. Now as you're looking at that, those aren't hanging very nicely, and we can solve that problem quite easily. First of all, like I said, make sure your loop is closed up nice and tight, and then hold it right at the top of the wire where the loop ends, and give it a 90-degree bend. And now suddenly when we turn that sideways, now they're hanging much more nicely. Slide on your bead cap. Now you can also use other components, something like one of these Swarovski rondelles and then a couple of big beads on top. That would also work. But I'm going to use a bead cone today. And then add whatever you like for beads on top. I have a 4mm antique gold bead. another one of those blue zircon Swarovski crystals, and a 3mm gold bead. Use your favorite method to make a loop. I'm using the one-step looper. So the final step is just to open the loop of your ear wire and attach that loop you just made. And there you have it, a rather exotic looking pair of earrings. Here's another look at the project we made today. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll give it a try. Of course, there's so many variations with the types and sizes and colors of beads. They don't have to be crystals, they could be gemstones or anything you like. Thanks so much for watching Keepsake Crafts videos. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like and share it. Also, you can check out the other two videos up on the screen. And you can follow my creative endeavors on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and on my blog, keepsakecrafts.net. Happy creating. Bye-bye.